Soggy Bottom Farm. My buddy brought over this rototiller. Wanted me to take a look at it, said it wasn't running right. And I'm not positive, but I would say this thing might have been used one time. Still got paint on the tines. I noticed the muffler's got some really dark evidence, like maybe the carburetor is choking a little bit and it's running rich. But that was a couple days ago when he brought it, and I noticed this morning, I'll stop moving here in a minute, this oil running down the tire and making a puddle in my little shed. It appears to be dripping out of this air box on the carburetor. What do you think? Too much oil? Maybe the PCV valve is blocked a little bit? Or maybe he shipped it over here and tipped it over the wrong way. But I'm going to start it up, and we'll see what his issue is as far as running goes. It's a Briggs & Stratton 900 series engine. It's got an oil fill there and one right there. I suspect it might just have too much oil in it. It's a Poulan Pro 17-inch 900 series. Darn thing has still got the rubber bumps on the tires. This thing is brand new. Wish I could get one like this for $100. That's what he said he paid for it. Gas smells pretty good in it, if you like the smell of gas. So hang on a second. I'm going to start it up. You have to tolerate the noise. I'll try and dampen it somehow or another. I'm not real good at editing videos. Hang on. I'm going to start it. Well, let's see here. Got a rabbit. Yeah, we'll start him in slow speed. Turn the gas on. Oh, it is on. And it's on choke. So I'm going to put you in a little holder here and fire it up. Hang on. Wow, that sounds terrible. No point in listening to that anymore. That's definitely the carburetor. Losing my balance here. So I'm going to take that carburetor off. Let's check the oil while we're here. Maybe it's just overfilled. Wow. This is hard to do looking through a camera. Well, I'll put that on when I'm not looking through the camera. I don't want to cross thread it. Is it going to come out of here? What do you think? Oh yeah. That's a mess. Hold on. Man, what a mess. That's a lot of oil. I got a pig mat here. That doesn't even look like oil. What is that? Strange. Let me get another one. These pig mats are great. Plus, I like their phone number, 1-800-HOT-HOGS. You gotta enjoy that. Pretty creative. Yeah, maybe the oil issue was just because there was too much in it. Look at that mess. Okay, I'm going to take the carburetor off of this. I might add it into this video. There's a lot of people rebuilding carburetors. You probably don't need to see this one. I'm sure it's just the idle circuit. You know, maybe the best thing to do is to try it again with the proper amount of oil and then go into rebuilding the carburetor. So I'm going to put you on hold again for a minute. We'll do that. Hang on. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to go back on what I said. I believe that is oil. That water is because this is the bucket I was using to measure water making some concrete caps for a block wall. But it looks like that air bubbles got forced into that oil, probably because it was so full. I'm going to give this thing a minute. I got to decide if I'm going to change the oil in it or not before I start it back up. It is... Oh, sorry about that, you guys. My hands are a little slimy. It is oil. It's supposed to have... It's on the side of it over here. No, that's not the oil. That's a standard for measuring torque. But yeah, that's motor oil. We're going to... Well, let's put the cap on it. Start it back up again. I'm going to put you back in here. Hold on. Try not to drop you this time. I don't know if it's going to help with the governor issue, but we'll find out. Can you see? Okay. Come on, little fella. Well, what is the deal with this guy? I know, boring, boring, boring. Hold on. juiced. Yeah, we definitely got to rebuild the carburetor on this little fella. Well, at least take it apart, clean it, and reassemble it. Alright. I'll let you know what happens. Or, well, I'll tell you what. I might just set you up on the table and we'll tear it apart real quick. Hang on. I started to take this air box off. And look at the oil dripping out of that thing. Let's figure out what's going on. I'm still up in the air about rebuilding this carburetor. I'm almost certain that it's just plugged air filter more than anything. Let's find out. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, yep. I'm going to claim that this oil coming out of this air filter is the reason that we're having this issue with running. We're not getting enough air in it. Let me wipe this off and we'll start it back up. I'll see if I have another one of these. I have a pressure washer. That's a Honda motor. I think that's a Honda motor. Let me see if I have an air filter and I'll bring you right back. We might just start it up without a filter on it because we're inside the shed. Hang on. Okay, let's start this thing back up. All I did was take the air filter off. Let's see if that was the whole issue. Clogged air filter. Man, is that going to blow oil all over me? It shouldn't, but that oil will come out of somewhere. We'll do it no choke. Nope, we better choke it. No doubt about it. Got to clean out that carburetor. Okay, it's been about 30 minutes for me. We're going to take this carburetor off. If you happen to have one of these little Briggs & Stratton engines, they're all about the same. Going to remove these two nuts right here. 8mm, 5/16. You can get by with either one. PCV hose is attached to the back of it. Well, breather. And then this choke lever, just lift up on it. It's attached to a piece of plastic under there, right there. You should be able to just pull straight up and that'll come off. You can just get that out of the way. You can take it completely out of the way if you want. And there's a clamp right here. Can you see? Let me see. Let me zoom you in. Move you around. Got to take off this gas line. It's going to lose a little bit of gas. I got some cardboard under here. Channel locks, pliers, whatever. It's one of these spring clips. Let me try and catch some of that gas. I've already made enough of a mess in the little shed today. And then the carburetor is held on with two 10mm screws. Let me get this gasket off of here. Be careful with that thing. You don't want to tear it. If you do, you might have to get another one. Maybe, maybe not. It's just the air box. Use a wrench, nut driver, ratchet, whatever you want. Only takes a minute. And then you have the governor arm attached to this carburetor. Give it a little turn and take it off. There's a little spring that goes with it as well. 2 holes. All right, I'm going to set you up on top and we'll take this fella apart. Okay. Got to take this bolt. Ooh, what a lot of gas. Got to take this bowl nut off. I said, man, that gas is kind of yellow. Probably got last year's gas in it. Or the year before that. Remove the pin. That pin that holds this float and needle in there. At this point, I'm just going to spray everything out with carburetor cleaner. I'm sure that this, what's up with you, light? I'm sure that this oil has clogged up the little passages. You might need some little tools to clean out these air passages. There's one right here. There's little passages in this carburetor. There's one right here, right here. There's one right down inside of here. Anyways, just get some carburetor cleaner and spray all that stuff out. Clean this thing up really super good. You might have to take that needle out of the center there. But I'm not so sure about that. I'm sure that oil got sucked into the airway more than the other way. And it wasn't running that bad. So I'm going to spray it out. Okay, she's all clean. I used a carburetor cleaner, just hosed everything down, squirted it in all the little passageways down inside there. Here, clean the whole outside. Let me blow it off with some air first. Hold on. You got some air, you might want to blow it off. I'm just going to put it back together, put it on the tiller, and then I'll bring you back to see if the tiller's running good. Hang on. Let me point something out. Oops. Let me point something out real quick. This bowl nut, you see through it? You see that? This is some people call it a jet, whatever you want to refer to it as. It's a bowl nut to me. This hole here, going through the side of it right here, this hole, when you screw it down on here, it corresponds to these cutouts, and this is what lets the gasoline go up through the emulsion tube and get delivered into this plenum here and get atomized to make the engine run. If the engine will run for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but it's hovering and doing all kinds of other stuff, this is probably not the issue. If it won't run at all, then this is probably the biggest culprit for why it won't run. Didn't mention that in the beginning. All right, hang on. Okay, man, 22 minutes. I don't know how to make a short video. I'm going to start it back up. Wish me luck. Turn the gas back on. I think that was choke. Whoa. I'm going to let that thing run for a while. And then hopefully it'll work itself out of there. If not, I'm going to have to tell my buddy he might need to get a new carburetor. But I think that oil will burn itself out of there. I'll let you know. Well, who knows if I'll let you know. All right. I'll bring you back. Okay, you guys, I'm going to blame the rest of it on the lack of an air filter. We just have the wrong air fuel mixture going on right now. This is just some paper towels as a test. Okay, I'm going to let you go. I'm glad you lasted and endured this with me. Come again. Steve out.